It's the kind of welcome any athlete would dream of. The cheers and excitement signaling a star player has stepped on the floor.
I just hope we win and don't get our butts kicked.
But here at Leavitt Middle School, the nervous smiles are for the new guy, Nick Tuma.
Seeing him be with his teammates, seeing the high fives and the cheering for each other, that's the exciting part.
A team manager suiting up for the first time in the last game of the season.
Playing awesome.
It's pretty big.
And pretty important to Nick.
Today is a research day. Someone tell me, what are we doing?
Diagnosed with autism at 20 months old, the 8th grader tried out but didn't make his school's team. In fact, his parents say their only goal was for their son to fit in.
They accept him. They accept him as one of their own. He's exactly where we always wanted him to be.
And the players at Leavitt brought him on board to keep stats.
I've known Nick since 4th grade.
He supports us and he's just there to have fun.
You have to be really patient with him.
We're all a team. We feel like Nick's part of it too.
Which brings us back to this game.
Just got his picture taken with one of the cheerleaders.
With the blessing of everyone on the team, Nick would play the first minute of the game.
A dream come true.
His shot a bit off, but the basket was never the point.
I'm good, but I miss a lot, but I'm trying to work on it.
And in most games, that would have been the end of the story. But a funny thing happened on the way to the bench. Turns out, points did matter. And Leavitt's lead in the game was so big that Nick was put back in.
And what happened next?
This is his moment.
Caught by every home video camera in the gym.
I shot a three from the left side, made it in. And everyone screamed. My parents cried. My friends cried.
And the boy who dared to dream gave this packed house exactly what they came for.
Yeah, I knew I was going to score.
Denise Rosh, News 3.
This is a genuine pop culture, one-of-a-kind museum that you can only find here. It's a stupid project and somebody has to do it, so I guess we're it. You can actually come in and play the past.
I think it's the most important thing in the entire city of Las Vegas because this was my game from college. And so I can pretend to be 32 years younger when I play this particular game.
Well, on its day, it was quite something. It's a trip down memory lane, and these machines were built to run about 5 years. Then they were supposed to fall over dead, and you were supposed to pitch them in the dump. And we keep them put back together and nursed back to health. It's just endless hours and hours and hours of work to return this stuff to new condition. We donate all our excess profits after we pay the rent and the electric bill to local charities. We've given away over $500,000 so far. Each game is completely different, and as you play a game, you begin to realize that this is completely different from that. Even though it's the same box and the same flippers, you're shooting for different things and your strategy is different. And there's also the idea of winning free games, which is what every kid wants.
We're going through something. We all know we've all been through something.
But dealing with this pain and stress of poverty.
Let's make sure you sing it and mean it.
From the streets of Las Vegas to this church hall.
Don't give up, don't give up!
All from different walks of life, some with rough backgrounds, like 19-year-old Donna Hill.
It was quick money, honestly.
Who worked as a prostitute.
The life was too dangerous, and a lot of girls were getting hurt and getting killed at the time, so I just said, it's not for me.
Yeah! Hill moved into a shelter.
Internalizing the words to this song.
Which led her to Tori Russell.
It's not a happy song. It's a pleading song. Someone reach out to me.
Who's been involved with more than 250 plays across the country. He founded Broadway in the Hood to introduce kids from the Las Vegas streets to the stage.
At times we have 50 to 70 kids in here running and screaming and acting crazy and dancing around, and some are doing splits and cartwheels, and these are the same kids who could be robbing your house. These are the same kids who could be doing all kinds of things.
They held their first performance in February, called Hiram and Nettie, about two slaves on a plantation who fall in love. 3,000 people saw the show.
We take the time to take the Hood and introduce it to Broadway, and take Broadway and introduce it to the Hood. it's a marriage that's destined to last.
Our kids are suffering.
Tony Ellis thinks so. Her daughter is in the group.
We need alternatives for our youth. We need to embrace them in such a way that tells them they can't accomplish anything.
Like going to the Kodak Theater in Hollywood, where they're performing at an NAACP festival this month.
I'm breaking through this walls, I'm gonna give my all, yeah.
21-year-old Johanna McSonic will be going, even though her family hasn't been receptive to her joining the group.
When I came here and then I started college, I wanted to take music, but my parents are not allowing me to do that because they're like, where is that going to get you?
But now she and the others are preparing for the trip of a lifetime.
It's more than just an acting, it's family. This is like, I found my second family here. Thank you for just accepting me. Sorry. I just love them, and thank you.
Let's find out who this mystery man is. I stroll to the first tee, eager to meet my opponent. It's a kid? This is my challenger? Henderson first grader Brett Sodetz thinks he can beat me? Let the showdown begin. Take that, whippersnapper. This is gonna be easy. Maybe not. Right down the middle and long. This is no ordinary first grader. I've been had. He brought his daddy to caddy. I should have brought mine. Let's see how he does from the fairway with a TV camera rolling. Yeah, he looks real nervous. Turns out he's been on the CBS Evening News and the Ellen DeGeneres show, so I guess a camera's not gonna rattle him. So you think you can still beat me? I'll get him on the greens. Bet he can't putt. Oh, great. He's got touch, too. The first hole wasn't a fluke, folks. This kid's a machine. Great shot, but I'm not letting you drive. Turns out Brett won the U.S. Kids World Championship at Pinehurst, beating 82 other kids from 12 countries. He's quite possibly the best 7-year-old golfer on the planet.
Once we got into the tournaments, and especially when he won the World Championship, I guess at that point I realized that he was really pretty good.
How come you're so good?
Well, I practice and I practice and all the time.
Good job. I enjoyed it. Nice job. Hey, Smiley. You must be pretty proud of yourself beating an old man like me. You're a great kid. We're all proud of you.
Look at that! Yes!
5 years ago, Linda Quackenboss quit her sales PR job to become a full-time photographer.
A star is born.
She made the decision to pursue her passion after a bout with cancer, and that new perspective on life has given her a new purpose.
What a gorgeous smile. Look at that.
A new project.
See, you don't think you have a great smile, but you do. Just beautiful.
Photographing special needs children and adults.
I can make a difference in this child's life, as well as mostly in the parents' life, of course, because then they'll have lovely photos for their walls.
Special Kids Photography is the name of the nonprofit in Utah where Linda was trained. Right now, she's waiting to get accredited, and when that happens, she'll be the only photographer in the state of Nevada with that distinction.
There's that smile. Love it.
Today's subject, Diane Fuller. Problems during birth led to cerebral palsy.
Beautiful.
And another brain injury left her mentally challenged. Doctors told her mother they didn't expect her to live past a month. Today, she's 56 years old.
I told her that if she takes a good picture, one that's smiling, we'll put it next to Daddy on her bedroom wall.
Diane's father died 2 years ago.
Oh, do the lights bother you?
Linda is very aware of the lighting she uses.
We use strobes in the studio all the time, and we don't think twice about it. But with a special needs child, that may cause a seizure.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
She plays music to relax her subjects. Christmas music is Diane's favorite. She also spends a lot of time learning about who she's photographing.
Part of the process is I meet with the parents, and I have a list of questions that I go through and learn about their child. Thank you, Diane. You were great. Really enjoyed taking photos of you.
Now, Diane will have this perfect photograph to hang next to her father's. Matt Kozar, News 3.
What'd you get for number 1?
After 7 years in the classroom, there isn't much that surprises teacher Murray Harden.
Don't mark it wrong, just put an equal there.
The lessons have always been the same, and the students, each memorable in their own way. But nothing could have prepared him for this 5th grade class.
They're very supportive. It's great. We have a great community, and they're just really excited to be doing something for Elizabeth.
Learning about cancer and chemotherapy after 10-year-old Elizabeth Hoke developed a tumor in her throat.
I had a lump on my throat.
You could see it. It was probably about that big.
I was sad.
It's called Burkitt's lymphoma.
We don't know if we got rid of it.
Elizabeth was diagnosed on Halloween and would miss the next 2 months of school. By then, her hair had fallen out due to chemotherapy, and her parents worried how her classmates would react. Turns out, they didn't have to.
I thought it would be a nice thing to do, and so she'll fit in.
It started with Cutler Levitt, spread to Luke Gillitzer.
I looked in the mirror and I kind of screamed.
Then on to Luke's brother, the dare officer, Mr. Harden, and more than a dozen other kids, all going bald for a friend.
Everybody's doing it. It's the new fad.
Which brings us to today.
Yeah, right there.
With one very nervous PE coach leaving his look to Elizabeth, buzzed in front of an audience.
Makes her feel so much more at ease at school, and it's really helped her kind of acclimate back into the classroom.
Steve Hoke is Elizabeth's dad. He says the cancer was caught early and the family is optimistic. But truth be told, no one knows what's next. A disease her classmates are learning about right along with the family.
It just doesn't affect her, it affects them too, because they didn't understand.
A snapshot of an incredible journey in Mr. Harden's 5th grade class, where compassion could be the most important lesson of the year.
I'm gonna keep my head shaved till her hair grows back.
Denise Roche, News 3.